Yes, people, what is happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your daily transfer update. And boy, have we had some good news on this Saturday night. Manuel Ugarte will be a Chelsea player. It's outlets in Portugal reporting it's done. It's not quite done yet, but, you know, we're almost there, just waiting for the documents and all that sort of thing. But Ugarte will be a Chelsea player. Will supposedly sign a 5-year contract as well, as that's the maximum length now that you wait for have closed our fucking loophole for offering those long-term deals. But Ugarte will be a Chelsea player. We've got Real Madrid dead set on getting Kai Havertz this summer, massively stepped up their interest, and his potential arrival's got nothing to do with Benzema leaving or anything like that. Plus, Eden Hazard available on a free. Should Chelsea go back there? Should you ever go back? You've got the latest on Mason Mount as well. Couldn't possibly have a transfer stream without talking about Mount. Moises Caicedo as well, and a potential swap deal involving Edouard Mendy and Andre Onana between Chelsea and Inter Milan. There is a lot to go through, people, but already plenty of us in here, guys. So smash those likes. Let's get those likes up. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new around here. And let's get this show on the road. As always, guys, make sure you get involved in the chat as well. Really enjoy interacting with you. Get your thoughts in the chat, any questions you've got. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said, let's hear it. And let's get right on it. Let's get right on it. So, as reported by Record in Portugal, have been very accurate throughout this whole thing. We're very accurate throughout all the Enzo Fernandez stuff as well. That Manu Ugarte is a Chelsea player. It's done. Now, obviously, the official documents aren't signed. The contract isn't signed. But in terms of everything else, everything is agreed. It's going to be €3.5 million per season, which works out at about £58,000 a week, which is actually a madness. You know, 58k for a player of his quality and in this market and this day and age. The owners have done a phenomenal job to get a deal at this price point. Obviously, that's just the base wage. If we qualify for Champions League next season, that could significantly increase along with winning any potential trophies and whatnot. But the actual base wage for Ugarte is reportedly 58k. He will sign a 5-year contract, as I said. Just waiting for the official documentations and all that stuff, but it should be announced next week. Yeah, big game for Nkunku, goal and assist on his final game for Leipzig in the German Cup final as they beat Frankfurt, I think, 2-1. So that's promising to see. Announcement for Nkunku also expected soon, people. So there is a lot of news to get through, guys. But I mean, I tell you what, Ugarte, we've been begging, we've been crying out for this midfield revamp. It's taken so long. We've been so long. We had Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic. Now it looks like Ruben on his way out, Gallagher on his way out potentially. Zakaria's packed his bags. Kante could leave. Mount could leave. You know, we're getting the midfield revamp that we need. And Enzo and Ugarte are 2 pieces. We need more pieces, people. We're hungry for more. We're still massive. We've got pull. PSG can hold that. They tried to offer more money. Ultimately, we've got the pulling power, the London lifestyle, the project. And when the big boys go in for those negotiations, your Bowleys, your Egbalies, or whether it's Lawrence Stewart or Win Stanley, we don't leave until we get a deal done. And this is a new, ruthless, efficient Chelsea in the transfer market. And it's something that, you know, I'm absolutely here for, because for too long now, we've been fucking useless in the market, getting taken advantage of, not acting quickly, not getting players over the line that we should do, offering ridiculous contracts to players who quite frankly don't deserve them. Then we can't get rid of them when they're shit for us, and we end up loaning them out year after year after year at vast expense to us to then let them leave on a fucking free. So yeah, we've got to stop doing that. But it looks like we're acting efficiently in the market, guys, which is fantastic news. This Manu Ugarte signing, I'm really excited. He'll be perfect in the pivot alongside Enzo Fernandez, 4-2-3-1. Obviously, we could go 4-3-3. If we get a Moises Caicedo in, dare I dream and dare I get excited and a little bit carried away? Can we really take a little trip to the south coast, deposit some cash at Brighton, and take Moises Caicedo back on the fucking Thames link with us to London Bridge? Who knows? But that would be the next one. And yeah, let me get to a few bits in the chat first, people. Let me see what you guys are saying. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, I will get that up on the screen. I know it's not officially done, but all the outlets in Portugal are reporting it's done. It's just a formality now. Can't wait till Ugarte and Nkunku and Gusto come. Yep. Yes, Jacob, big up my guy. Blake, thank you for tuning in. Hazard would be yeah, agreed. I will cover this Eden Hazard stuff later on as well. Seen a rumour that Madrid are prepared to pay like 80 million. I'd be shocked if Madrid were prepared to pay 80 million for Kai Havertz, but mate, we take it. I'd personally drive him to whatever airport it is. Let's get that 80 million. Let's move on. It's not worked out. I love Hazard, but he's not the same player. No, he's not, mate. He's absolutely not. That needs to be forgotten about. I will cover this at a later point in the stream. This needs to be forgotten about. No return for Eden Hazard. No, agreed. Big game for Nkunku. Yep. Oh, I've already said that. We are still a massive club. The project isn't the only thing we can offer. No, it's not. I mean, look, obviously we're not offering any European football, but we're offering a London lifestyle, Premier League football, to work with a top manager, Mauricio Pochettino, to work with some top players. And the project, I know project's a bit of a buzzword in football, but we shouldn't underestimate the impact and how appealing this project is. Now, no matter how shit we've done this season, Chelsea over the next 2, 3, 4 years is really, really exciting. You know, once we clear the squad out this summer, Pochettino's got his players to work with in a small group. Got some of the most exciting players in Europe. Your Mudriks, your Maduekes, your Enzos, Ugarte now. Complement at the back as well. Colwell, Fofana, Badiashile, Gusto, James, Chilwell. Like, this is a fucking good squad, guys. I don't think we understand how good this squad is right now. And yes, you know, we were a million miles off last season, but the reality of the situation is a few more pieces of the puzzle here and there. And this is a team that can do really well. And we could be a surprise next season, but I think it's more likely the following season. But this is a really good team, guys. I don't think we realise how good the squad is. And with a bit of coaching, with a bit of tactical insight, with a manager that knows what he's doing and has managed at the top level before managing big players, this team isn't as far away as last season actually suggests. Hazard's a totally different player since he left Chelsea. Yeah, no, absolutely. I hope Ugarte, yeah, I hope so as well. Yeah, it's massive. PSG can hold that, as I said. You know, they offered more money, but ultimately, you know, we did them dirty with the fax machine and Hakim Ziyech, and now Ugarte's picked us over them. So, yeah, not a great time to be a PSG fan right now. Ramos and Messi out the door. They don't know what's going on there. And no European football in 12th place Chelsea. We're taking Manuel Ugarte. Thank you very much, guys. I'm shocked we pulled it off. Remember, we were concerned with the wage offer. Yeah, the wage offer was obviously increased. It was reportedly 2 million euros a season. It's now up to 3.5. And I think that's very fair. Like this, in this market, this is a phenomenal deal in terms of, obviously finance is irrelevant because it was a release clause, 52 million. I think we're going to pay it in 4 to 5 installments. We're not going to pay it up all in one go. So that works really well for FFP on the books as well. And then 5-year contract works out, as I said, about 58k a week. That's a madness for a player of this caliber and his potential. So good. Who do you think should be the backup 10 behind the striker? I'm not really sure. If Mount re-signs in what would be a massive U-turn and a bit of a shock, then yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with him being the backup 10. We may have to go out and sign someone. So yeah, let's watch this space on that one. Please, Todd, give us Caicedo. Yeah, Todd, if you're watching, bring Caicedo to the bridge. You know it makes sense. You know it needs to happen. We're not going to get Declan Rice, so bring me Moises Caicedo to Stamford Bridge. Simple as that. That's all we're asking for. It's not much. Of course we can. Very good dinner. Very good. Caicedo is next. Yeah, Caicedo next. Big up my guy. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Would we not be too defensive with Ugarte and Caicedo in midfield? Ugarte and a more balanced centre mid would be preferred, in my opinion. Outside shooting has been non-existent. No, I think it's really good. I think it complements really well because Ugarte has actually played Euro Expert, by the way. Big up to the Euro Expert. He did a great video on Ugarte. And Ugarte this season has actually been playing a little bit further forward at times as well. So yes, he's a DM, but he can play further forward. And I think the combination of him and Enzo, one goes forward, one sits, and they can kind of alternate. Ultimately, anything that gets Enzo playing that a little bit further up the pitch, having to do a little bit less of the defensive work, is a win-win in my opinion on this one. If we bring Caicedo on, we can have 4-2-3-1. We could have Caicedo holding with Ugarte and Enzo as more advanced as 8s, or we can have it the other way around. You know, there's plenty of options in there, loads of options in there. Maybe Messi told him not to join PSG. Maybe. I'm not sure Messi's up for doing Chelsea any favours particularly, but maybe he did. Yeah, it's mad. I know, like for us, like sort of normal people, 58k a week, you're like, fuck, you know, that'd be unbelievable. You know, I'd love to see that money. But for footballers, like, that's mad. At a top club like Chelsea, 58k for a top young player, it's not much money at all. It really isn't. I'm not saying he can be a starter. He can just be there for the vibes, for the presence. Like, but it was different with Drogba. Like, have you watched Hazard play football at Real Madrid? It's like he's forgotten how to play football. I'm not sure if his love of the game's still there. And it just wouldn't be, for me, it's just an absolute no. It is an absolute no. But yeah, looks like Ugarte will be a Chelsea player, people. I'm massively excited by it. Let me just get a few more little bits of detail up on the screen about Ugarte. This one here, as I've touched on, Ugarte will earn €3.5 million a year in wages at Chelsea, which is not bad at all. And this is really pleasing as well to see that the wage bill's being trimmed down massively as well. Mount Chrono is 75k, and we have top players on 58k. The amount of stuff I'm not too sure what the situation is, but I think it's very different when you're a young player signing to one that's kind of renewing, been here his whole career, offered a lot over the last few years, obviously not this year. And that's kind of the way it goes. I'll get into the amount stuff later. It is boring, but I will cover it again. Hazard is not so old and can have another prime. I'd give under 50 million, or we don't need to give anything because his contract's been terminated at Real Madrid. But I'll always have a soft spot for him. But I'll always have a soft spot for him. I love Eden, watching what he did for Chelsea, phenomenal footballer for us. But just right now, it's just not the same. Not the same. PSG in a mess with no matter. Oh, they still got Gaultier, actually. He's not been sacked yet. Pass on Hazard, yes on Ugarte. Yeah, for sure. Nick, big up for tuning in as always. Jonathan, thank you. People, drop those likes. How many likes are we on, guys? We've got 50 of us in the building here. We're only on 23 likes, guys. Let's get this at least to 50 likes, people. Keep smashing that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well, guys. I'm noticing a few new people in the chat, so smash that subscribe button as well if you haven't done so already. 23 likes. Let's get this to 50 likes, people. Let's keep it moving, guys. As always, get your thoughts in the chat as well. I'll get through as many of them as I can. But as I said, smash the likes. Let's run these likes up. Subscribe to the channel and let's keep it moving. Brazil knocked out of the Under-20 World Cup. Heard Santos had another good game though. Yep. I've not seen that result. Obviously disappointing that they're out. Who did they lose to, by the way? Because I haven't kept across the Under-20 World Cup this evening. I watched Ugarte in Europe last season, and he was good. Yeah, did watch a little bit of him this season. I watched him against Juventus and Arsenal in the Europa League. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I watch the Portuguese league on a weekly basis because I absolutely fucking don't. But a really exciting player, and to get a deal of this caliber done this early, it bodes really well for the summer. And people can say what they want about the owners. They've got things wrong. They made mistakes this season just gone. Absolutely, they did. But you cannot fault the way that they are working in the transfer market. We are so efficient in the market. We mean business. And when we go and we want to get a player, normally we get them. And that's a great position to be in. Really good position to be in. Enzo Ugarte, Caicedo, now it's the midfield overhaul we've been wanting. Yeah, that is... it gets me excited. I can't lie. It's mad. You look at that and it's three of the best young midfield players in Europe. Probably two of the best in the world in Enzo and Caicedo. Ugarte can definitely get there. Yeah, that midfield's getting me excited, guys. I can't lie. I need to calm down a little bit. Have a quick sip of water. You know how it is like this. That's mad. That midfield. And people, talk about Chelsea, this and that. Yeah, we were shit last season, but you look at the players that we're bringing in, the players we've got in the squad, and mate, this is not far away from working. This is not far away from working. So I'm excited, but yeah, we have to get this next one over the line. 58k a week, but when we get Champions League, yeah, the wages will increase. Yeah, of course. This is what I mean. So, like when I was speaking to Ben Jacobs on the show a couple of days ago, like when it's the base offer of wages at Chelsea slightly misleading because that's got the ability to increase a lot more. So, that could, in theory, yes, it's 3.5 million guaranteed, but it could easily be 5 if things go well and all that sort of thing. But it's great. Who do you think will go for striker? I'm not sure, to be honest, mate. I will get onto the striking options later in a bit more detail, but just off the top of my head right now, I would have loved Ivan Toney, but for me, it's going to be a Lautaro Martinez. That would be my choice, or Dusan Vlahovic. I'd probably just edge towards Lautaro. Yes, thank you, my guy. Appreciated. Recently started watching the streams, top class up the shelves. Mate, thank you so much. Massively appreciate it. I'm grateful that people like to listen to me talk about Chelsea. It's kind of a mad it's a mad feeling that people are interested in saying what I'm saying. So yeah, I appreciate the love from everyone. So keep interacting in the chat, guys. Keep smashing the likes. You know how it is. Lost 3-2 to Israel. Fair. I didn't really know that Israel were that decent at football, but fair. Yeah, all going well. Thank you, bro. Hope you're good. Yeah, smash the likes, guys. So I don't want to keep saying it, but let's run these likes up, people. Let's run them up. What else we got going on here? Polish Jerry, big up. Just watched Ugarte's highlights against Arsenal last season. He's proper Chelsea already for clattering Saka to get a red card. Yep, fair. Welcome to the club. He's going to fit in well. The only thing I would say on Ugarte is he has got a bit of a hot head, a bit of a temper. He does pick up a lot of bookings. He does get sent off relatively often. Well, I say relatively often. He has got that in his locker. So maybe if we can just slightly iron that out of his game a little bit, get his discipline slightly better, then yeah, we've got a top player on our hands, and it is massively exciting. It really is. Players are still preferring us, even though we don't have Champions League and finished 12th. That speaks for itself. Yeah, but yeah, it does speak for itself. We are fucking massive. Let's be honest, we are. But this is very much an anomaly season for Chelsea to finish 12th. Players know, the club know that that's not going to be repeated next season. We will be back to where we should be next season, or certainly closer to where we should be. So yeah, it's not a surprise that players still want to come to Chelsea. It's still very, very attractive. And outside, I'll be honest, outside of Manchester City, this will be slightly biased, but Chelsea, I honestly think, after City, is still the next most attractive club in the Premier League in terms of where we're going in the next few years. I think it's more attractive than Arsenal. I think it's more attractive than United, Liverpool. You know, people might think I'm mad for saying that, but I honestly think we are. I honestly think we are. Felix reported we are interested in Lautaro Martinez. TBH, I don't think we need him. No, he's a centre forward. He can play on his own. He can play up on his own. Just because obviously at Inter Milan they've deployed 3-5-2. He's played up with Lukaku. He's played up with Edin Dzeko for the majority of this season. Like, he can still play on his own. Yes, he had a disappointing World Cup, but I think he's a top player. 2 back-to-back 25+ goal seasons in Serie A. I think he's good. Honestly, I do think he's good, and I like him. Will he fit at Chelsea? I don't know, but ultimately, I'm at a stage where I'm like, well, hang on a second. This guy, if Pochettino wants this guy, we need to give the manager what he wants. It's as simple as that right now for me. We have to be giving the manager what he wants. Chelsea will be back next season, challenge with no European football. I don't think we'll challenge for the league, but we'll certainly be back at the upper end of the table. There's no two ways about it for me. It would be cool if Havertz and Mount stayed. I'd like Mount to stay. I think, look, if Havertz for me not delivered in 3 years, so we need to cut our losses and move on. Just need our wingers to step up too. Think Sterling was our top scorer of 9 goals. Yeah, 9 goals in all comps. I think it was Sterling and Hazard with joint top. Sterling and Havertz, which is kind of mad. That really highlights our issues. Pochettino was pressing Chelsea to sign Ugarte and close the deal. Yeah, seen that. He got on the phone to him as well. My manager working his magic already. He's magic, you know. They don't say that for no reason. My guy's out here closing deals, getting one over on his former employers as well in PSG. So yeah, life's good right now. Life's good, people. Do you think Tchouaméni would be a good fit? Yeah, I love Tchouaméni. We obviously could have got him, but the club collectively fucking turned him down to take Saul on loan. He's gone to Madrid now. Tchouaméni won't be leaving Madrid this summer. I'd be shocked. So I'm happy for this to get clipped up if he does, but absolutely no chance. But yeah, massive fan of Tchouaméni. I think he's a top baller. Costa had a temper. Amazing. He only had 1 red card for us. Yeah, no, a little bit of fire. I'm not saying eliminate the fire from him or anything like that, but yeah, we need to just rein it in a little bit. What we want him to be available. Who are we linked with? I mean, Osimhen, Rasmus Højlund at Atalanta. We're not linked with that many. Obviously, Lautaro Martinez and I say not that many. I'm just about to reel off 4 names, but Lautaro Martinez, Dusan Vlahovic, 3 strikers from Serie A, which is interesting. Do you trust Mudryk and Madueke to be our future wingers? Yeah, for sure, bro. I do. Look, these are young players, and this is something that I was banging on about on Lawrence's stream yesterday. Like with a few of the lads, that we've got to be more patient with players. Like it's not a coincidence that Chelsea sign a lot of very talented young players, and a lot of them don't make the cut. Now, there are going to be multiple reasons for that. But when there's so many, you have to look at the club. Are we providing an environment that these young players can thrive in? Constantly chopping and changing managers, changing styles of play. That's not helpful. Are we giving these guys the best environment to thrive in? And I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if we are. But Yeah, I do. I've seen enough from Madueke. I've seen enough from Mudryk in moments as well that these guys can really push on. But next season's going to be massive for their development under Mauricio Pochettino. They just need to play regular football, get good guys around them. And if they have a bad game, as fans, we have to make sure that we don't get on their back. It's as simple as that for me. Really, really is that simple. But I do absolutely trust them for sure. Caicedo next, yeah. I mean, I'm here for Caicedo because he's an absolute baller, but I'm also fully here for it if he rejects Arsenal and he signs for the Chelsea, because that would just make it even sweeter. It really would. There's no two ways about it. It's always great to get one over on Arsenal. There is absolutely no denying that at all. Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm here for the Arsenal tears. I'm here for it. I don't want to get carried away and too excited about it, but I'm absolutely here for those Arsenal tears. In a way, we need some kind of hot-head aggression, of course, within reason. But we need a bit of fire, a bit of bite, a bit of passion. These South Americans bring the passion. There's no coincidence for me that Enzo's coming and he's shown fight, he's shown desire, he's shown willingness to play for the badge. I don't know why I was about to touch my badge, which is not even a Chelsea badge, but yeah. That desire and that fight, we're lacking fight on the pitch. We're lacking fighters, and South American guys are fighters. They're warriors. And this kind of warrior mentality is going to be massive in the club next season. We need more leaders. And I'm not saying Ugarte is a leader right now, but, these guys can be, I don't want to say groomed into leaders because that's a slightly misleading phrase. But do you know what I mean? They can be developed into leaders. Leadership can be developed, and I think in Enzo definitely there's a future leader there. In Ugarte that could be the same. But these South Americans have got that warrior mentality, and that's something we massively need. Weird question: what number do you want to see Nkunku and Ugarte wearing? Once Pulisic's fucked off, we can give Nkunku the 10, and then Ugarte. We could give Ugarte the 8 if Kovacic leaves. Maybe I'm not too sure. The 8 is massive though, obviously being Super Frank's number. Would you take Neuer as a free transfer? Maybe. No, I probably would actually for 1 or 2 years take him as a stopgap. I mean, I prefer to take Navas for a couple of years. But yeah, let's wait and see, people. By the way, guys, 91 of us in the house. Great numbers for a Saturday night. People, it's only on 39 likes though. Let's get this to 50 likes minimum, as I said, and smash the subscribe button if you're new around here as well. There must be plenty of new people in here. I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers, looking to get there as quickly as possible. Every new subscriber will help, so make sure you smash that subscribe button to help me on the journey, guys. It would be great to have you here with me. But yeah, 50 likes is the next target, people. So let's get to work. Just hover over that thumb button, give it a little click. It helps me out more than you could ever realize to get the stream, spread it far and wide to as many people as possible. Where are we in terms of the comments? What we got going on here? Any news on the Valencia goalkeeper? No, I think Chelsea have been looking at the Valencia goalkeeper, maybe since scouts, but in terms of concrete interest, nothing that I've seen or nothing that I've come across. I hope we get Caicedo off Arsenal. Yeah, a Mudryk-style transfer with Caicedo would be so good. I'm fully here for it. I'm fully here for the drama. If we do lose out on Caicedo, who else is there that's available in the market? This is a difficult thing because, for me, the two standout midfielders on the market this summer are Caicedo and Rice. Now, for me, we have to get one of those. We're not going to get Declan Rice, which is a real shame for me. That means we have to get Moises Caicedo. If we weren't to get Moises Caicedo, then we're looking at players like Manu Kone at Mönchengladbach. We're looking at Romeo Lavia at Southampton. We're maybe looking at an Enzo Lefebvre from Lorient as a slightly different option in France. There's not a lot of midfielders. Maybe we could try and look at taking Ilkay Gundogan on a free from Man City if he doesn't sign a new deal there, but he's probably going to go to Barcelona if he leaves the club. So, there's not a lot of top draw midfielders, which is why we desperately need to get one of those two. In my opinion, Blake, thank you, my guy, I appreciate it. Let's get on the road. We're about 800 or so away, but we're on the road. We're going to get there before the season starts, people. I'm going to be bringing you the transfer streams every single day, unless I'm ill or unavailable for extreme circumstances. So yeah, we're going to be locked in for a great summer, guys. Onana news is interesting. Seems like Chelsea will push for it after the CL final. Yeah, I'll get onto that goalkeeper stuff as well, people. Don't worry about it. Great stream. I'm watching you from India, 2:30 a.m. right now. Thank you for the love, Gaurav, if I pronounced that correctly. Massively appreciate it. Appreciate all the love from India. I don't know how many guys from India tune in, but if there's a few of you in the house, big up yourselves. Mad to think that people are tuning in from all over the world to watch. I greatly appreciate it, guys. I really do. I do not want Onana. I think look, for me, Onana is I think Onana's I think he's a good player. Great distribution with his feet. Is it the significant upgrade we're looking for in the goalkeeping position? I'm not so sure. He's definitely better than Kepa, but is he top class that is going to win you leagues? I'm not sure. Woodshedder, thank you. I massively appreciate it, mate. Thank you for the love. You know, all your guys' support and words of encouragement kind of makes all this worthwhile for sure. If we could get Caicedo and Rice goes United, the face of our... Yeah, it would be epic. Mate, I love nothing more than a shameless laugh at Arsenal and an Arsenal meltdown, you know. I love it, you know. They've had a good season. They've come second, but they're getting way too ahead of their station. So we can just take them down a peg or two, let them know that, you know, like Manchester, London's blue. And you know, yeah, let's just let them know. Let's let them know. Yeah, that is one issue because obviously he had the attitude issue in terms of at the World Cup with Cameroon. He got sent home early because he wasn't prepared to listen to what the manager was saying him. I'd like to think those things are behind him, but ultimately we don't really know. That's the reality of the situation. We don't really know. But yeah, we've got to be careful. We've got to get the right characters around the place because too long now we've had too many bad characters like in the dressing room and all that sort of shit. So we need to make sure that we get the right characters. Mum, thank you for messaging me with your thoughts about swearing. Apologies if I've been swearing too much, Mum. I might take that on board or I might not. But it's Saturday night. I'm enjoying myself. We've got a new player on the way through the door. But yeah, sorry, Mum. And Mum, if you're watching, thank you for tuning in. We can't let Arsenal get Rice and Caicedo. No, they won't get Rice and Caicedo in the summer. Most importantly, no players planning to leave should be at the club on the pre-season tour. No, of course, that is an ideal situation. We don't want players on the pre-season tour that don't want to be here, that are getting minutes at the expense of other players that are going to be part of the future plans. So, yeah, in an ideal situation, we want as many players out the door before that pre-season starts. By the way, people, there are 100 of us locked in. Big numbers for a Saturday night. Certainly big numbers for my channel. So, yeah, this is kind of mad. Let's keep it moving, guys. 51 likes. Oh, guys, let's be ambitious this Saturday night. Let's try and get this as close to 100 likes as we can, people. Let's do this. I can't lie. I wouldn't mind if we miss out on Caicedo. Actually use these youngsters and give them a clear pathway to integrate into the squad. No, this is where I disagree, Adrian, because look, I'm a massive fan of Andre Santos. Cesare Casadei these guys are real exciting players for the future. But let's be real. These guys are not ready to come into the Chelsea first team and make a difference next season. We need to remember that the only senior football that Casadei has played is half a season on loan at Reading in the Championship. Santos has played senior football, but nothing outside of Brazil. These guys need to go out on loan somewhere, for me, in Europe's top 5 leagues. And get some regular playing experience before coming back to Chelsea the following season. And when you're a young player, you need regular minutes to develop. Yes, they could play a role in the squad, but we're playing once a week. There's not going to be an awful lot of rotation. Is that going to best serve their long-term development to be playing a bit part in the Chelsea squad next season? For me, I would suggest not. But I appreciate your thoughts, and I absolutely get it that we do need goals. Get the children out and bring in the men, and I'm not talking about age. Yeah, no, for sure. Look, I'm a massive fan of Santos, massive fan of Casadei, as I said, but as I've just covered, you know, these guys aren't ready, in my opinion. Do you do YouTube full time? No, mate. I wish I did YouTube full time. That's the dream. Maybe in a few years' time we can be in that position. But no, I don't. Of course, I'd love to. I'd love to do YouTube full time. But yeah, I don't do it full time at the moment. I just do it in my spare time after work because I love doing it. But yeah, it would be great to get to do it full time, of course. Onana, good keeper, but not the attitude the dressing room needs. Yeah, I'll get onto this. I feel like I'm going for as much stuff in the chat as possible. Arsenal fans saying players going to Arsenal because they're in the UCL. So those players should be stupid because everyone knows. Yeah, people go to Arsenal for retirement home. We've sent many players there to retire. Look, Arsenal are a great football club. Look, we banter about it, but they are a good football club. You know, they're well run. They seem to be turning a corner. This summer is going to be crucial for them in terms of how serious they're looking, if they're looking to build on the title challenge this season. But let's see. Mason gives you goals, but he massively overperformed next year in the season. He hit double digits and is best as an 8 when he's not the main goal scorer. Yeah, I mean, Chukwuemeka, I'm a massive fan of. Gallagher, again, future's unclear for him. Window didn't even open yet, and we already signed one. I think didn't the window open on the excuse me, didn't the window open on the 1st of the month? I think it has opened. Thoughts on the pre-season tour, and if you think the club is overdoing it? No, I don't think so. I think they would have learned a lot from the last pre-season tour. The new owners didn't plan that pre-season tour. That was already in the books before. There is travelling about, but I think it's much less distance. And yeah, look, you can look at the teams we're playing: Wrexham, Brentford, Newcastle, Brighton, Fulham. Sometimes, like, you don't need to play the big dogs like your Real Madrids, your Juventuses, your Barcelonas, your Dortmunds, and your Bayerns and all that crap. Like, I think we're all right. I think we're okay. You know, playing these sides, and ultimately pre-season is just about getting fitness in the legs, trying new things. But I do think though, normally I wouldn't say results are important in pre-season, but I actually think in this pre-season results are important because of how bad the season that we've had is. We need to head into the season on the back of some positive results. This is about getting fitness. This is about getting minutes in the legs, trying different things out. But I do think good results in pre-seasons would be a massive confidence boost for us heading into the season. That's why Emmy might be a safe bet. Maybe Emmy Martinez, I'm not sure. Maybe. Yeah, big up the mums. Yeah, mums. Mum. I think mum's probably gone to bed now. But yeah, no, mum not happy with the use of language. Yeah, sorry, mum. Hope next season Chelsea finish above Arsenal and Spurs. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think so. Enzo Lefebvre is actually a top-class midfielder. There are top midfielders: Olmo, Kamada, Kefren Turan, Szoboszlai. Olmo's signed a new contract staying at Leipzig. Kamada is going to move to AC Milan. Kefren Turan, Liverpool are interested in him. I'm a fan of Kefren Turan at Nice. I think he's a top baller. And Szoboszlai is another guy who is at Leipzig right now, could leave. But again, he's not really he's more of a 10. He's more of a 10, actually. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that one. He is more of a 10. But, yeah, you never know. You do never know. What else have we got here? Manuel Ugarte will get the 8, Caicedo the 7. It feels weird having a central midfield player wearing 7. It was like when Steve Sidwell wore 9. It's just a bit odd. Do you know what I'd personally do? If Enzo wants the number 8, I'd give Enzo the 8. Manu Ugarte could be number 5. And then Caicedo could be, fuck knows. I don't really know. I want to see Santos go on loan. I honestly think Santos would benefit more from going on loan in Europe somewhere. If we could get him a Premier League loan, that would be great. Championship, I don't know how beneficial that is. We've seen it be beneficial, though. We've seen it be beneficial for the likes of Tomori, it'd be beneficial for Mason Mount. It was beneficial for Reece James. So maybe we have got that. Maybe that situation is possible. I don't know. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, either way, I think a loan is certainly preferable next season. No two ways about it. We need first 11 players. Those youngsters will be rotation options. Yeah, but I get that for sure. But for me, when you're a young player, you need to be playing regularly to develop your game. Being a rotation option, is that the best use of a young player? I'm not so sure. But it'll be interesting to see what Pochettino has got planned. It really will be. What have we got here? I don't know how much money we have made, but I just think when you look at City and top teams in the PL, have a constant tight-knit squad that plays week in, week out. Yeah, absolutely agreed. City don't actually... People say that City have got loads of players. They actually don't. They've got a very tight-knit squad. It's very much the same 11 players starting most weeks, and the subs are virtually the same. This is the position that we need to get to. Having a core about, the settled first 11... and then your 3 or 4 guys that come off the bench. That's what you need. You need a core of about 15 or 16 top players. And that's exactly what we've got to work towards. Absolutely. 100 likes equals Chelsea winning the league in 23-24. If only it was that simple. But yeah, we do need to get to the 100 likes, guys. Let's work our way up there, people. Let's work our way up there. What else have we got going on in the chat? And I will move on, but I do love getting through everything in the chat. Yeah, there's some in Chicago as well. I mean, my US geography is definitely not a strong point. 14th of June, summer window opens. Oh, fair. There we go then. Didn't know that. I thought it was the start of the month. Hi from Canada. Big up. Thank you for all the love in Canada. By the way, Canada, Jonathan David from Lille, reportedly an outside target for Chelsea. What are your thoughts on Jonathan David? Because obviously watch a lot more of him than I probably do. Manuel Ugarte to Chelsea, it'll be 60 million euros. I thought the release clause, 60 million euros. Yeah, it will be. That's the release clause, 62 million euros. I believe you can sign players from other leagues, but you cannot sign from clubs within your league. I think you can. What I think you can do is actually you can get deals done, but they just can't be registered until the transfer window opens, which is fine because we haven't got any games anyway. What else have we got here? Why would you say Casadei isn't ready when Caicedo, Smith Rowe, Saka, Green? Because there's levels in talent. Like these guys are Casadei could be very good, but you know he's nowhere near as good as Caicedo as these players. I mean, Smith Rowe's come off a little bit, but these guys look for me. Casadei could go and play in a team like Brighton, or do you know what I mean, where there's a little bit less pressure. But at Chelsea, the expectation, the pressure and demands from the fans and whatnot means that it's tricky. But again, I get the flip side of the argument where, well, when are these guys going to be ready? Sometimes you just got to chuck them in, sink or swim mentality and sort of seeing what happens. Milian Mbappe, good fun. Does anyone know who Man City played in pre-season in the past? Playing a big team? I have absolutely no idea. I feel like we should get Milinkovic-Savic. This is another guy, right, who every season a few people kind of link him to Chelsea and it just never happens. He's always linked with leaving Lazio and he never leaves. I don't really know. Look, some people like him, are big fans of him. I think he's a good player, but ultimately, like, there's probably a reason why he's not left Lazio because maybe he's just not quite good enough. I don't really know, but it's a name that does crop up every so often. What do you think if we swap Chalobah and Lukaku and money for Lautaro and Onana? Well, yeah, I would do that. Even just a 2-for-2 swap. Almost he likes, fantastic. Good to hear. Let's keep that. Let's keep pushing. We're at 70 likes now. That's what we like to see, people. Could there be a place for Casadei in our squad? Yeah, I think there could be possibly. But then what do you do about Chukwuemeka as well? And this is why we've got to be careful, people, because probably Ruben's going to go. Mount likely to leave. Kante at the moment is out of contract and hasn't signed a new deal. Could be leaving. Kovacic is leaving. Gallagher could leave. That's 5 midfielders. So let's say we've got Ugarte and Enzo. Let's presume all those guys leave. We've got Ugarte and Enzo. We've got Chukwuemeka. Let's say we get Caicedo. That's 4. Maybe there is a space for one of those guys as a 5th option in midfield. Maybe Santos or Casadei. It's definitely possible, but again, it depends on how many are leaving. Experienced guys like Koulibaly, Oba, Lukaku, Aspie can also disappoint. Talent is more important than experience. Absolutely, and experience is massively misused in football because, as Jose said when he was working on Sky once, experience isn't about age. Experience is about how many games you've played. Now, you can be 23 years of age and played 200 odd games, for example, and that's you might not be experienced age-wise, but you're certainly experienced in terms of the games of football you've played. So I absolutely get that. Oh, let's see on Casadei. Let's see. All well and good saying we'll keep the starting 11 week in, week out, but our players are constantly... Yeah, and this is another thing we've got to work out is the medical department. Shocking. First season going away with Chelsea next season. Oh, mate, it's great. If you're honestly, if you're at any games next season and you see me knocking about, home or away, come and say hi. Maddison as a backup 10. Yeah, I would take it. I honestly, I think James Maddison's a great footballer. I think he's really intelligent. I like him. He's got a goal. He's got an assist. Yeah, definitely would be something that would be interesting me, but I just don't think it's going to happen ultimately. That's kind of where we're at that one. It very much seems to be kind of between Newcastle and Spurs for Maddison. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. What else have we got going on in the chat, people? Do you think Slonina is ready to promote to second choice keeper? Is Kepa or Mendy is sold? For me personally, I think that Slonina should go on loan. Again, this guy's only played in the MLS, hasn't played any senior football outside of MLS. He's doing very well for the US under 20s. I think he needs to go on loan somewhere, whether that's Premier League, probably not, whether that's Championship, one of Europe's top 5 leagues. But I certainly think he can definitely come back in a season or two's time. Maybe we're going to do something similar to what we did with Courtois, loan him out for 2 or 3 seasons. The guy's so young. I think he's 18 or 19. So, yeah, I'd say not quite yet. David's top striker. I think we should at least loan him with a buy option, mate. He's 37 games, 24 goals. Yeah, let's see. I speak French. Yeah, I unfortunately don't speak any French. But yeah, guys, let's move away from this Manuel Ugarte stuff. Really exciting. Looks like he's going to be announced as a Chelsea player officially next week. Let's have a look what else we've got. Let's get into Kai Havertz to Real Madrid then. This is kind of a mad one, if we're being honest. Real Madrid want to go for Kai Havertz. It does not depend on Karim Benzema staying or leaving. That's from Fabrizio Romano on his YouTube channel. Now, this is an interesting one for me because obviously we bought Havertz in for big money 3 years ago, 70 odd million pounds. I think that could have potentially been rising as well to slightly more based on add-ons and all that crap. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Ultimately, it's not worked out. Yes, we'll be grateful for the goal in Porto and whatnot, and he has popped up with some big goals in big moments. But ultimately, on a consistent, the only thing that Kai Havertz has consistently done at Chelsea since he joined is underperform. And it's a real shame saying that because I was excited about his arrival. The stuff that he was doing at Leverkusen was outstanding. There's a reason why Real Madrid wanted him. There's a reason why Bayern Munich wanted him and other top clubs wanted him. But he's come to Chelsea and like many others, it's just not worked out. Now, whether that's because he couldn't handle the pressure, he's not cut out for the Premier League. It doesn't suit him. We're not playing a way that suits him. I don't know. But it's certainly time to move on from Kai Havertz, in my opinion. You know, thanks for the memories, but I think we need to move on because he just doesn't look like he hasn't shown me anything to suggest that he could suddenly do something next season. You know, this is 3 seasons now we've been waiting, and just nothing's happened. Nothing has happened. So yeah, I think we have to move on from Havertz. It'll be very interesting to see how much money we would be looking to get, how much money Madrid would be prepared to pay. We obviously signed him for £70 million, as I said. We want to we imagine we're going to want to recoup as close to that money as possible. Now, for me, any 50, 60 million pounds, I think that's a great deal and you take it. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, potentially. He probably would have signed a 5-year deal back in 2020. So a couple of years left on the contract. And I think he's the sort of player that would go to Real Madrid and do very well there. And that's not a slight on Chelsea. And I don't think we've let the player down. But as I was saying on Chelsea Fan TV and on other streams as well, you know, it becomes a bit of a worrying occurrence where you have so many top players signed and yet so many of them don't work out and go elsewhere and do really well. Now, why is that? That's the $1 million question. Why is that? I feel that like we're not patient as a fan base with players. If players have a bad couple of games, we've already got people saying, "Oh, Mudryk shit, Mudryk's a flop. Oh, why have we signed him?" It's like, Jesus Christ, the guy's been here 2 minutes. What are we doing? It's mad. Look, I think in Havertz, there's definitely a player there. And Havertz, look, for me, Havertz has not worked out at Chelsea. I've been very critical of him. I've expected a lot more. But ultimately, let's not reinvent the wheel here and say that Havertz is a shit footballer. He's not. He's a very talented boy. And there's a reason why the likes of Real Madrid want him, because they think he could be very good for them. And I believe that he would go to Madrid and he would do very well. And, you know, as frustrating as that would be, you know, it's just the reality of the situation right now is that that's kind of where we're at with Havertz, is that it just hasn't worked out. He probably isn't good enough for Chelsea. And we're going to move on from it. It's so mad how many potential outgoings we have. And, you know, you think back to the squad at the start of the season, how different that was to the one that finished it. And then you look forward to the squad that could start next season. And that's going to be totally different again. You're like, we're going through major surgery really quickly. This is going to have been 3 of the maddest transfer windows imaginable. Really will be. What have we got here from God of Frogs? What are we saying, my guy? Havertz was held back by Mount. We never gave Kai a proper chance in a 10 role. We held him back because we wanted to fit Mount and Kai into the same 11. We then played him. I mean, Havertz has said in multiple interviews. Now, I don't know if he's just saying it because, you know, he doesn't want to be left out the team if he just says he only plays one position. I don't know. But he said in multiple interviews that he's happy playing anywhere across the front line. So either he's lying or, you know, he might be lying. I don't know. But I look at it and there's a tiny part of me thinks, shit, could Havertz cook under Pochettino in that 10 role alternating with Nkunku? Now, Havertz is going to look at it from his perspective next season and probably going to be thinking, well, right, Nkunku's going to be the priority number 10. How many minutes am I going to get? How often am I going to play? The club are going to bring in a centre forward. I'm not really going to be starting at centre forward. I'm probably going to start a few cup games here and there. Might start the odd Premier League game. But How many minutes am I really going to get with once a week football, minimal rotation? Perhaps not that much. Could I go to Real Madrid, take Asensio's place in the squad? Maybe if Benzema leaves, and can I be a big part player there? Maybe you could be. Maybe I don't know. I think the reason players haven't been able to grow because of the constant in and out managers, old managers couldn't trust young players. Yeah, I absolutely agree on that. But this is why I was really surprised with Lampard not playing the younger players more, taking so long to get to playing the younger players, because his job was 10 games. Why is he thinking about his job? Like, I didn't get that. You've gone after 10 games, Frank. You know that. You're not getting the job permanently. Why are you thinking about the job when you're picking a team? Play the guys. Your whole remit for this was to come in and help us out and then get players ready for next season that are going to be part of the plans for the future. And that clearly hasn't worked out. By the way, guys, we're 25 likes from the 100. Still over 100 of us locked into this stream. I'm sure there's plenty of you that in here that haven't smashed the like button. So let's get this to 100 likes, guys. 25 likes to go. Just hover over that thumb button, give it a little click. It massively helps me out. It spreads the stream. It gets more people tuning in. So let's get this show on the road to 100 likes, people. 25 to go. Let's keep it going. And subscribe to the channel if you are new around here as well, on the road to 4,000 subscribers. As I said, thank you for the support, bro. I hope we can sell Havertz. If we can somehow bump off Sterling too, that would be a really big step forward. Yeah, we're not going to bump off Sterling, unfortunately. He's been here one season. He's on massive money. No one's going to offer him the wages that we've offered him, unfortunately. And yeah, I think the conversation, I'm always more entitled to give players more than a season, because I think it's quite harsh to write them off after one season. But ultimately, Sterling is massively under-delivered, and we need him to do better. We need him to do better for us next season. Next season is absolutely massive for Raheem Sterling. It really is. What else have we got here? I don't care what Kai says in terms of he can play wherever in that front line. Yeah, I don't think he can. I don't know why my laptop's not charging. Let me just sort this out, guys. Let's get that in there. There we go. Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. It is. What we got here? I love yours and Ben's post-match fan comes. They're so funny. Oh yeah, mate. Ben's great. Ben's great. We were at the pub this afternoon. Me and the Chelsea boys. Yeah, great fun. Mate, I'll just try and say it how I see it after the games. And if people like it, they like it, and I appreciate it. And if they don't like it, no problem. What else have we got cooking in the chat then? I will say this, Kai might think he's very versatile, but he's absolutely not good enough to play as a striker. No, I would agree on that. He definitely isn't a forward. If you look at all his best stuff from Leverkusen, he wasn't playing as a centre forward. That is absolutely true. I would rather Carney, Chukwuemeka play as an Nkunku backup. I think that's a dangerous game to play personally, and I think Carney is better as in the midfield. Just because I think God of Frogs has said in the chat, if Nkunku gets injured, then that's going to be a problem having Chukwuemeka as the only guy to step in my opinion. Carney appeared interesting in big matches, not so much against other. Yeah, Havertz. The one thing I would say for Havertz is that he always tended to turn up for us in the Champions League and on the big stage. But though there's not that many of those games, what really counts is turning up against the likes of your Palaces, your Brentfords, your Brightons, those sort of teams. Or that's what really matters is turning up against those teams. I got news when Kane's contract runs out of Tottenham, he'll be signing for Chelsea on a free. Lee, I don't know where you got that news from, mate, but yeah, if that's true, which obviously I don't think it is, but yeah, let's wait and see. I'd love Harry Kane at Chelsea. Of course I would. 100% no, Havertz will rip it up at Madrid in his prime career. Havertz is a great player. Yeah, no, Chelsea was never right for Kai Havertz, seemingly. And this is what I go back to with Havertz and mistakes that we've made and why players potentially haven't worked out at Chelsea's, because the recruitment strategy has been so poor the last few years, particularly towards the end of Roman's regime. The recruitment was shocking. We were just signing players because it was shiny object syndrome. It's like, shit, Havertz, he's really exciting. Loads of top teams on him. Let's go and get him, without giving any thought about, is he the right type of player for Chelsea? Does he suit how he plays? Is he going to suit the league? Does the manager want him? We're just signing players and just dropping them into Chelsea, hoping that it's going to work out, rather than actually giving any logistical thoughts into how they're going to fit in, are they the right character and whatnot. And we just end up in a mess, which is part of the reason why I feel so many players haven't succeeded at Chelsea in the past. Havertz's talent is there. He's great for Germany, but it's been 3 years now. Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that. That's my sentiments exactly. Kai would fit Real Madrid style of play better than Chelsea. Yeah, I think so. I think La Liga being slower, a different style of football, that would definitely suit Havertz much more to a T. And do you know what? I would be interested to see how he does at Madrid as well if he does go. But I think what we've got to be clear about here is that people getting really excited, oh, Havertz could be leaving and whatnot. There's a long way between, and I tweeted it out today, there's a long way between Real Madrid being interested in Kai Havertz to Kai Havertz actually being at Real Madrid. Yeah, personal terms probably won't be an issue to sort out. But yeah, agreeing a fee between the clubs is going to be massive. And so there's still a number of steps that need to be taken before Havertz leaves Chelsea and goes to Real Madrid, if that is what happens. I'm excited as well, mate. I am excited for this. I think a lot of us are excited for this. Yeah, Kane could leave on a free next summer as well. Maybe that's what he'll do. But well, we need Kane at that point. Or is that's the thing? Would we have already signed a big name striker this summer, and then Kane, there might not be space for Kane? I mean, it feels weird saying that, but yeah, you do just never know. This is the thing. You do just never know. Chalobah to Inter Milan just stinks of Tomori 2.0. It could be. I personally wouldn't sell Trevor Chalobah. I think his versatility, his age and whatnot is and his potential. You know, he's going to get better. Koulibaly's not really going to get any better. So I'd be looking to sell Koulibaly, get his wages off the books. I think Chalobah is much more worth keeping round. Tomori's not as good as you think. I like Tomori. I think Tomori's a top player, but ultimately we've not missed him because obviously we've bought in the likes of Fofana, Badiashile, and those guys. But I was disappointed when he did leave the club. People, 13 likes from 100 now. Let's get this to 100 likes, guys. 13 to go. Let's keep smashing it, people. The chat's been cracking tonight. It's been great. Pice, big up, my brother. Hope you're good, bro. If he's Tomori 2.0, that's... Do you know what, mate? Like, if we're being honest with ourselves, like we were a bit. I mean, I don't know about you, bro, but I was a little bit gutted when Tomori left Chelsea. I thought it was a mistake from Lampard. He was treated badly. He had a really good first season under Frank, and I think we at the time regretted it. He went to Milan. He did really well in that Serie A winning season. If we're being honest with ourselves, this time round he's not been as good for sure. And look, obviously we've replaced him and we move on, but at the time when he left, I felt it was a mistake. But ultimately, you look back at it now and you think, well, we've replaced him with other players and it doesn't really matter so much. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you tuning in as always. Pleasure to have you here. What else we got here? Bad Boys film starting on Channel 4 right now. Okay, mate. Cheers. So yeah, Havertz to Madrid. There's still a lot of steps to go. I don't want to get excited about this. I'm never someone that celebrates players leaving the club. That's not my style. That's not what I do. I'd always be thankful for what they've done for the team, wish them the best, and they move on and we move on. But yeah, I think it's best for all parties that Pice gonna have to mate, bro, on the Chelsea recap. Yeah, bro, we were saying this yesterday on Lawrence's stream that like for me, the one thing that's really impressive, and yes, the owners have made a lot of mistakes, but the recruitment has been really good in terms of how we've gone about things in the market, the way we've got deals done, the profile of player we're going for, the fact we're getting the vast majority of our targets. And I'm really excited about the recruitment. It's been a long time since I think we can be excited about the recruitment at Chelsea and the way we're operating in the market. It's a breath of fresh air, and to see us doing business early and that sort of thing, it is really great. I mean, Pice, bro, how much do you think Chelsea are going to ask for Havertz? Do you think we're going to be looking to get as close to that 70-odd million we paid for him? Or do you think we might look at taking 50 or 60? Because for me, I don't know how much Madrid are willing to spend on Havertz, how much they really want him. For me, I would take 60 mil. Absolutely, I'd take 60 mil for Kai Havertz next season, this summer, sorry. But yeah, let's move away from Kai Havertz. Let's move on to Probs asks 70. Do you think we're going to get, if Havertz does leave, bro, do you think we get more money for Havertz or Mount? Who do you think brings more money in this summer, Havertz or Mount, if they both leave? For me, I still think with Mount with a year left on his contract, probably gets more money into the club than Havertz does from Madrid. That's just my feeling. About the same. Well, Casadei scored again, has he? Fucking hell, this guy is balling out. Who is he playing in the 20s World Cup? Someone let me know. Yeah, fair. I reckon about the same as well. Relevo said Madrid see Havertz as a cheap option. Cheap? I mean, what does cheap mean for Madrid, though? That's kind of mad. That would suggest they may be looking at 50. With 3 years, 2 years left on the contract. Price, does his contract expire 2025? So he'd have a couple of years left on the contract. So this, in theory, could be the last time we get this could be the last chance to get a decent fee for Havertz, potentially. If Mount is going for 70 with only a year left, I'd want 80 for Kai. We're not going to get 80 for Kai. No chance, in my opinion. I don't think his value's gone up. I've been told Havertz won't go for less than 90 million. Right. My Italian brother, Casadei, and you're the only one to pronounce his... Are you Italian, are you? Oh, mate, I wasn't sure about my pronunciation, but Casadei. Cesare Casadei. Baller. Seems to be pretty good. Look at it like this. Madrid can sign Mount if they wanted to. Madrid don't do cheap signings. They don't really. OGs, remember Tomori's banger. Tomori's banger at Wolves away. Tammy Abraham, that was peak Lampard and the Cobham boys season 1. Italy versus Colombia, fair. Badiashile looks a top player in his limited play time that we got for cheap. So that's a good look for recruitment, absolutely. What does this tell you when our players are going to United, City and Madrid? They're not bad. It's just not worked out at Chelsea for whatever reason. But we're going to move on from Kai Havertz, people, and we're gonna roll the clock back. We're going to chat all things Eden Hazard. Now, I know if Price is still here, I know he loves Hazard, but I think he'd agree with me that Chelsea going back for Eden Hazard makes absolutely zero sense in all shapes and forms. It doesn't make any sense at all. But what have we got here? I just think we get Caicedo. We really limit our options at striker. No, we've got money to spend. We have got money to spend. Plus, we're going to be bringing a lot of money in as well. There is definitely money to spend. Right. Let's talk about Eden Hazard, people, because why not? It's Chelsea. Eden Hazard's available on a free. People are putting two and two together and thinking, let's bring this guy back. We could do something similar to when we brought Drogba back. No. It's a sentimentality thing. I get it. You know, everyone loves this. Everyone loves a romantic story in football. Jose coming back. When he did, it was great. Drogba returned and did well in that role. But look, Chelsea fans love Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard signed at 21, played the best football of his career at the club. Such a great player, such a fantastic player to watch. But look, since he's gone to Madrid, it has been an absolute disaster. There's no two ways about it. It's been shocking, and it's been terrible for him at Madrid. It's a real shame because it was his dream to play for Real Madrid. He left having probably had the best season of his career. We got a great deal considering he had a year left on his contract, over 100 million euros for him, and yet nothing has worked out for him at Madrid at all. He barely plays. He can't get in the team. He turned up overweight. He's not been fit. He's had ankle injuries. It's just been a disaster, and it's been really sad to see. But people talk about, let's bring Hazard back. He can have a squad role. It just isn't the answer. It's not the answer. You know, his best days, unfortunately, are behind him. We've seen his best days. They're not there anymore. They're just not there. This would be a massive mistake, in my opinion. It would be one of those romantic decisions. It's a sort of, do you know what? It's a sort of thing that would have definitely happened under Roman, or not definitely happened, but would have had a far bigger chance of happening under Roman. There's no two ways about it. This would have had a big chance of happening under Roman, but I think under Poch and under this new ownership, we need to move away from that. Hazard is a phenomenal player, really talented, and I don't know what he's going to do next, where he's going to go. I really hope he doesn't retire, because I do still think he's got something to offer somewhere. I think he just needs to go somewhere and play football where he's loved. Maybe he goes back to Lille and plays in France, goes back to kind of where it all started for him, maybe. Or maybe, do you know what I mean? I think that could be something that we're looking for, because if we're being honest, what top team is going to take a punt on Eden Hazard, having had 3 or 4 shocking years at Real Madrid? Not many teams are. Not many teams are. Bro, we need to pray for you. It's tough times, mate. Do you think Hazard is going to retire, by the way? Because as I was just saying, I don't know where he goes, bro. I honestly don't know what top teams take a punt on him. I really don't. I presume it's a flat no for you as well to take him back at Chelsea. That just doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know. He obviously enjoys his food. No two ways about it. Let's not ruin our Hazard memory by bringing him back. Retirement or the Saudi League? Yeah, the Saudi League could definitely, they'd be certainly interested in him. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, I mean, it just looks like he doesn't enjoy his football anymore. And for someone that has been such a joy to watch for us Chelsea fans over the years, like to see him not enjoying his football is really sad. It's really sad. Like I'm not going to cry about it, but it's just one of those things that's upsetting and a real shame because what a player this guy was. So talented. You know, one of the best. I honestly think one of the best players you've ever seen at Chelsea. One of the best in terms of talent, in terms of ability. He's been so good. He's been so good for us. But yeah, this is an absolute no. This is an absolute no. The only reason people are talking about it is because sentimentality, romanticism, and those emotions and those thoughts do not make good decisions. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Hazard that it's not worked out at Madrid, but yeah, it's a no from me. We have to look at the future. Hazard's not the answer in any way, shape, or form. Like again, we don't want to ruin our memories of him by bringing him back. And you know, with the project we're trying to build, the direction we're going down, signing an injury-prone winger in his 30s is just not the answer, unfortunately. Love Hazard as well, but what if this is one instance where luck finally shined on us? We had his best years. We've got a fortune on his sale. Yeah, exactly. No, we did. It was the best deal for all parties. It was the best deal for all parties involved. We got a really good deal at the end of the day. Who's our must-needed out-and-out striker going to be? I honestly don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't because for me, I would have loved Ivan Toney, but that's not going to happen now for obvious reasons. And you look at your Victor Osimhen's. Bro, thank you for tuning in, my guy. Hope you enjoy work tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with some more transfer streams. Don't you worry about it, guys. I'm going to be here every day if I can be. So yeah, Blake, thank you, my guy, for tuning in. Catch up soon, my brother. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, out and out striker. Yeah, I would have taken Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen. Again, I've got a little bit of I'm not sure. Yes, he's a top player and he's had a great season in Serie A with Napoli and he's a good goal scorer, a good finisher, great in the air. Reminds me a little bit of Drogba. Yes, he's a Chelsea fan and all that sort of thing. But he's going to cost a phenomenal amount of money. And is he what we're looking for? Is he the right profile of forward? Is he the right fit for the club? Does he suit Pochettino's style of play? I'm leaning towards the fact for me that maybe we need to just be going down. We need to be doing a situation where, thank you, my guy. Yeah, the stream should be on. Let's have a look at the likes very quickly. Oh, people, we are on 97 likes. 3 more of you people need to hit that like button. And let's get this to 100, guys. Get this to 100 likes. 3 more likes to go, guys. 3 of you in here. Let's just hover over that thumb, click the like button. Let's get it to 100 likes, guys, for a great stream, people. Let's have a look. Mate, if I can get a ticket for Luton away, absolutely looking forward to it. Of course I am. It looks like a great place to go. We're on 101. Yes, we are, people. 102 now. We love that, guys. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. Champions League final score will be Inter Milan 3, Man City 2, Lukaku hat-trick. I'd be loving that. I've added the Lukaku hat-trick bit in there, obviously. This is my point. When I'm talking about the striker market, there's no real standout name. And yes, Osimhen is like the big name on the market, Harry Kane and whatnot. But in terms of what we're looking for at Chelsea, for me personally, we've tried the big money signing at centre forward. I think we could do with coming a slight notch down, a slightly less proven player potentially, if that's the right word, and try Lautaro Martinez, try a Dusan Vlahovic, for example, possibly. Yeah, I did watch the final today. Yeah, me and the boys, me and the Chelsea Fan TV lads, we watched it in the pub. Yeah, great game. Gundogan is a phenomenal baller. Such a top player. If he doesn't want to stay, I'll take him on a free, absolutely. Yeah, look, the young Danish kid Rasmus Højlund at Atalanta, look, top player, really talented. But is that the answer? Is that what we're looking to do? We've got Armando Broja, we've got Dacia Fofana. Do we need to sign another young centre forward? And is Højlund going to go straight into the Chelsea team and be ready to bang goals in the Premier League that we need? I'm not so sure. Obviously, I'm not an expert on Højlund. I haven't watched a lot of him at Atalanta. I don't know loads about him, but is another 20-year-old promising striker? Is that what we're looking for? Really? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure that is what we're looking for. In all honesty, I'm really not sure that's what we're looking for. But yeah, the striker market's going to be really interesting. Yeah, Luton have got 6 weeks or whatever it is to build that new stand. Otherwise, I don't know what happens to them. There have been talks of them going to go to share with MK Dons potentially as well if they can't get that done. But yeah, let's have a look. Gundo is amazing. I love Gundogan. Title race Gundogan and business end of the season Gundogan is a different animal. Different animal. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks that way. Yeah, possibly. But Cover's never had goals in his game like Gundogan has. He just hasn't. Hoyland's average. I watched him. Taller Werner. Look, I like Hoyland, but again, it's not, for me. It's not the answer, and it would question. It would raise questions for me. And what are we doing? What's our plan? You know, we've got Armando Broja, we've got Datran Fofana, who's probably going to go out on loan, but we've got a young forward in Broja. Why do we need to go and buy another young forward? So, for me, it would be, excuse me, it would be Vlahovic or what's his name, Lautaro Martinez. One of those two guys. People talk about Kolo Muani. Again, Frankfurt would be asking for ridiculous money. So I don't think we're going to go down that route. And is he really the answer that we're looking for? I'm not so sure. But yeah, let's move on to something else that actually potentially is quite interesting. Is this talk of a swap deal between? I mean, this was reported somewhere else, but Felix has written it out. I can't remember where I first saw it, but yeah, that Chelsea and Inter Milan could be looking to do a swap deal with Edouard Mendy. So told Inter are fans of Edouard Mendy, so it's seen as more feasible deal out of the goalkeeper list. Inter are very open to part exchange deals. They like a lot of Chelsea players, which could also be relevant to Lautaro. So this is where having a massive squad with loads of players that we don't need could come in handy. But then again, we've been trying to do these swap deals and get them done and haven't managed to get any of them done at all. So for me, it would make sense. If the club want Onana, if they're set on Onana, if the data that comes back is showing that Onana is good, he fits what we're looking to do, and Poch is a fan of Onana, if that's the case, let's go and get Onana. If we can reduce the transfer fee, if we can get rid of Edouard Mendy as part of that deal, or we can get rid of Edouard Mendy as part of the Lautaro Martinez deal, then it absolutely makes sense. But the goalkeeper situation is an interesting one. I mean, guys in the chat, let me know your thoughts. Who would you like to see come in goal? We did briefly cover it a little bit earlier, but let's cover it in a bit more detail now. So Onana, look, I think Chelsea are going to make. I think once the Champions League finals concluded next weekend, there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more movement on this, and I think this could pick up speed quite quickly. But at the same time, for me, Onana, I'm personally, my absolute dream would be Magic Mike Maignan in goal, but I understand that's not realistic this summer. So for me personally, I'd prefer to look at a veteran stopper, a Navas or a Neuer for 1 or 2 seasons, and then look at and then see what the lie of the land is in the goalkeeping market in a couple of years' time. Maignan might be more likely to leave AC Milan at that point in time, and maybe it might be better for us to go down that route. But look, I like Onana. I think he's a good keeper, good shot stopper, very good distribution with his feet. Yes, there's question marks over his attitude, and he is better than Kepa, but I just don't know if you look at him. Is he a goalkeeper that's going to win you trophies? Is he a top keeper like an Edison, an Alisson, a Thibaut Courtois? No, he's not. He's in the next rung down, and that's fine. And he could get better, but yeah, the goalkeeping market is another, like the striker market, it's another difficult market. There's no real, for me, there doesn't really appear to be any real options out there, really. But I don't know. I'm not dead against it, but again, it's not moving me in a way where I'm really excited. That is absolutely not moving me at all. Pickford just signed a new 5-year deal at Everton as well. Pickford won't be going anywhere. I'm not a huge fan of his either. But again, you look at other people with. Yeah, but he's got like a £65 million release clause. I don't think Chelsea are going to be looking at spending anywhere near £65 million on a goalkeeper this summer. I think we're going to be looking more in a sort of the £30 to £40 million mark for a keeper. Only the top keepers, can demand that sort of a fee. And yeah, I don't know how good Diogo Costa is. Chelsea have sent scouts to look at the Valencia goalkeeper. I can't pronounce his name. He is a Georgian international. I'm not. Oh, don't know what's going on outside there. People probably had a few too many drinks. But yeah, what we got cooking on the chat at the moment, people. David Raya is an interesting one for me because he's had an all right season at Brentford. He's played regularly. I think he's a decent keeper, but is that moving the needle for us in the goalkeeper department? And if he signs for Chelsea, would you sign for Chelsea as a number 2 rather than playing week in, week out for Brentford? I don't know. Maybe you would. I'm not sure. But if we're looking to bring in a keeper that's going to be a number 1, because let's make no mistake about it, we are looking for a goalkeeper to be a number 1. Like, we're not looking to just bring in a goalkeeper for competition. We're looking for a keeper for number 1. And I just don't think Raya, for me, it doesn't scream massive upgrade. I don't even know if he's better than Kepa. That's the reality of the situation. He might be better at certain things, but as an overall package, I'm not seeing much difference between Raya and Kepa at all. I'm not actually sure. I've not come across anything that says how much they would want for who is it again? Sorry, memory's gone. Oh, for Onana. I'm not sure. I'd imagine it would be in and around the £40 million mark. That Tyler Adams lad from Leeds didn't look too bad. Yeah, again, that could be a decent signing. But again, I don't think it's something that Chelsea will look to do. I think the Kepa hate is a little bit harsh. Look, for his standards, I think he's had a very good season for the club. Look, ultimately, he's not going to be good enough to be the number 1 long term and to win us the big trophies. But yeah, I don't think he's nowhere near as bad as some people make him out to be. That's just my opinion. I think some of the stuff on him is a little bit harsh. When you eat McDonald's on the bench, you would want to retire. Is that what Onana's done? Is Onana eating McDonald's on the bench? Oh, fucking hell. I think Manyan's going to be very, very expensive, really expensive. That's for sure. Onana is pretty the same like Mendy in terms of saves. He's definitely world class with his feet. He's definitely up there with one of the best goalkeepers in terms of distribution with his feet. Oh, you're talking about Hazard. I thought you were talking about Onana. Oh, fair. Now we need to move away from romantic decision making at the football club. We've got to move forwards, not backwards. In terms of romanticism and a fairy tale story, it's great, it's fantastic. But the guy's not been good at football for 4 years nearly now. That's right at the situation, and it seems to me it looks like he's fallen out of love with the game. And that's a real shame to see for someone that's been so great in his career and so great and so many memories for so many Chelsea fans. But yeah, this Onana stuff is interesting. I'm not really sure. I'm not too sure. I haven't watched a lot of him at Inter Milan. He's by all means done well. But doesn't Onana and Mendy's kind of swap deal in cash make sense? I mean, if Chelsea want the player, it does make sense. If you want to use him as part of the Lautaro Martinez deal, maybe as well, considering that's probably going to be a lot more expensive than the Onana deal is, then maybe that's a route we go down. But the goalkeeper market, like the striker market, is a really tricky one this summer. It is a really tricky one, and it's hard to see kind of what direction we could well look to go in with that scenario. Caicedo is coming to Chelsea. Yes, wow. Chelsea are on fire. I mean, I'd like to think Caicedo's coming. Vincent, big up my guy. I would take Hazard back out of a sentimental aspect. Let his last ride be with us. Look, I hear it, but it's a massive no from me. A massive no from me. Makes you wonder how Mendy's level dropped dramatically. Yeah, Mendy's rise was unbelievable, but his fall was just as unbelievable as well. And I have no idea what's happened. I don't know if it was Tuchel and that run, because he was playing some phenomenal football, really, really good. He was up there with one of the best keepers in the world. And he might have got a bit carried away calling him the best goalkeeper in the world at times, as fans do get carried away. But, his drop-off has been just as impressive as his rise. I mean, it's mad how big that drop-off's been. It really is. I just don't know what's happened in that situation at all. I really don't. it is a strange one. It really is. Kanye is off. I mean, Kante, I was going to say. Kanye is also off, but yeah. Seeing as Lukaku is our player, chuck him in a swap deal. Yeah, absolutely. Time to dive back into the French market. Mate, the French market is decent, you know. People call the French League a farmers league, but there's some really, really top talents knocking about in the French league. There are some really good talents in there. And yeah, the success rate from the French league to the Premier League is quite good as well. Just like the hit rate from the Portuguese league to the Premier League is pretty good. You know, we got Czech from the French league. We've got Hazard from the French league. I'm sure there's a few other players that we have potentially signed from the French league as well. But it's good. Brighton want £80 million. It'll take up something around that. The problem is the owner doesn't want to give him Kepa money. And this is the problem. When you've got Kepa on the wages that he's on, and you're looking to buy a new number one goalkeeper, that's kind of the wages they're going to be asking for. And it doesn't really make sense. That's the reality of the situation. It's not making much sense financially. And that's tricky when you've got Kepa on so much money. Any goalkeeper that comes in, that's going to be kind of the bench of what they're looking for. And they're just not going to get that sort of money. They might do with hitting the performance incentivized bonuses. But yeah, Mendy's getting sold because he thought he was brilliant and asked too much money for a new contract. The thing with, I don't blame Mendy for asking for that money because of what Kepa's on, and that's what I'm getting to. The point here is that, like, because Kepa's on the money he's on, it makes it really difficult when bringing in goalkeepers to start at a lower negotiating point. That's the problem. There is a crazy Pice tweet. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I hope. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is this? This must have literally just come now. Oh no, what's going on here? Don't tell me this whole Manuel Ugarte celebration party stream has oh no. So PSG hub, Manuel Ugarte has agreed a contract with PSG until June 2028. Sporting want Paris to match Chelsea's offer to seal the deal. Oh no. Fabrizio says Chelsea wants to get it done next week. Record and others says he's chosen Chelsea, but this is a new development and Santi's good. Oh no, not again. Don't give me Rafinha vibes. Don't give me Koundé vibes. Oh shit. This is a spanner in the works that we don't need. But with all the outlets in Portugal reporting this, that he's chosen Chelsea, and they've been pretty spot on throughout. But this Santi geezer is really good as well. Oh shit! This is not what we need. I thought this was virtually a done deal, and now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, fuck, we've got a little bit of something to worry about now. Look, there's nothing to do with the owners. We've done what we can. We've offered a very competitive deal. The player wants to come to the Premier League. I don't know what else we can physically do. Yes, PSG have offered a little bit more money, but everything else other than the money is far more appealing in I don't know what it is. I mean, he is a French journalist, I believe, but yeah, he is reliable. He'll probably go back to his old club unless a big team goes after him. I think that's with Hazard. Could be Sporting fleecing us, but the release clause is the release clause. That's the fee. So it's not like they can't get more money out of us because we're paying the release clause. How come PSG's offer was better in terms of fees? Yeah, no, the fee's the same. The fee is the same. The fee is £51 million release clause. I think PSG offered to pay it in slightly less installments than Chelsea did. PSG have offered Ugarte a better salary than Chelsea have, but you know, everything other than being able to offer more salary, I don't understand why any of it is why you would choose PSG over Chelsea. I really don't get that, mate. The Fabrizio here we go is like it's gospel. Once you get that or an Ornstein dagger, you know you're in full business. It does. They're offering it. No, it's €3.5 million now. It's been up to €3.5 million. And it begins. We were saying about Ugarte. Yeah, I mean, look, let's calm down because you could definitely still sign for Chelsea, and it looks that way. But this, if it's true, is a potential spanner in the works. In Fab, we trust. Yeah, this is a peak time for people and their girlfriends, mate, because you know Fabrizio is the go-to guy. I'm gonna just wait. Yeah, we need to wait for the Fabrizio. PSG won't be allowed to buy players. They are allowed to buy players. PSG offer was better already, and Ugarte was waiting. Yeah, no, Ugarte is waiting for Chelsea. He wants Chelsea, but I'm not sure what these little details here could be. Yeah, again, it could be smoke and mirrors. It could be a briefing from Sporting to try and get a little bit more favourable terms from Chelsea. I'm not really too sure, but yeah, that's a little bit of a worrying situation that could be the case. I hope that's not the case. I really do hope that's not the case. Because yeah, I would like it to be a case. I would like us to have got this done. It seems like PSG agreed terms even before we spoke to Ugarte. Yeah, no, PSG have had terms agreed with Ugarte and whatnot, but you can agree terms with more than one club. This is purely down to a player decision. Sporting are getting exactly the same money from PSG and getting exactly the same money from Chelsea. This is purely down to player preference. Does he want Chelsea? Does he want PSG? That's all. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for a green light on Ugarte's decision. That's ultimately where we're at. But yeah, that's a little bit of a worrying development. That's for sure. There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it. But yeah, that is a worry. PSG is a bottomless pit. We simply can't. No, we can't compete with PSG in terms of finances. That's absolutely clear. We cannot. We just have to hope that the wage that we offered is the salary we offered is competitive. It'll be more than he's on at Sporting. I would imagine. There's no way it wouldn't be. Yeah, we just can't compete financially with PSG. It's as simple as that. That's the reality. But we have to hope that it's more than just about money, because the Chelsea project's far more appealing than the PSG project. It's the fact that Mauricio Pochettino has personally phoned him and wants him to come as well. I think that would means a lot to the player. So yeah, hopefully this is just kind of smoke and mirrors and maybe just trying to get Chelsea to reduce the amount of instalments they pay the fee. And I'm not sure. No, there hasn't been anything reported on that one either. Yeah, what else have we got to cover? Is anything else? Yeah, we need to fly the big boys out. Fly the big boys out. Let's get this deal done. These lads need to be flown out. Let's get it sorted, people. But yeah, guys, it seems like a good point to round this out. Been going for a while now. Thank you so much for all of your support tonight. It's been massive. Yeah, it will be embarrassing if we mess this up. It will hurt. I hope we don't. I don't want to wake up in the morning and see Ugarte sign for PSG. I'll be fuming. But yeah, guys, it seems like a good point to round this one out. Massive stream tonight. Thank you so much, every single one of you who's locked in. We've had great numbers tonight on the channel. Really appreciate all the love in the chat, all of your support. It doesn't go unnoticed. I get through as many of the messages in the chat as I can. I greatly appreciate it. You know, the channel's nothing without you guys interacting and supporting it. So thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful. Manuel Ugarte signed for Chelsea, possibly now a little spanner in the works. Could be going to PSG maybe. Who knows what's going on there? Let's hope we get a bit more clarity tomorrow and in the coming days. Thank you so much for your support. As I said, smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, looking to get to 4K as quickly as possible before the season starts. Thank you so much for your efforts and support. I'll be back tomorrow with another transfer stream tomorrow at some point, so make sure you stay locked in for that one. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night wherever you are in the world. Take care, people. Up the Chelsea and peace out. Big up.